Hostile control point detected. Portable device detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Gals, this is Great Divine One here, and today I'm bringing you a new build video for the new season 7 Crossroads for the Division 2. Now, I put this build together specifically for the Battle of Brooklyn, the new DLC, to help with more survivability. I really do love this build. I'm a fan of status effects. I really am. Seriously. And I made this build for the Battle of Brooklyn specifically for the new cleaners and their new burn and corrosion. So as you can see, you saw this build in action. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So please make sure you smash that like and that subscribe button. I do appreciate the support. Alright, so for this build, this is a hybrid build. It is a hazard protection and status effect build. I am running for my signature weapon so that I can get the talent to have another skill tier, which brings this build to a skill tier 2. It is a status effect build and it is at a skill tier 2, but it is for survivability and it does a lot of damage, as you can see. So for my main weapon, I am running the Ouroboros. This basically is a submachine gun, an exotic submachine gun. I do have it at expertise level 27 for my weapon damage as of right now. We are for core attribute. We have 15% SMG damage, 21% critical hit chance, and 10% damage to target out of cover. And for my second weapon, I am running an AUG A3 Para XS high-end submachine gun. Now, I do like the submachine gun. For me, the RPMs aren't that high, but it does hit pretty hard. I do like it, and I love the way it sounds as well. So I have this at expertise level 12 right now. For core attribute, we have 15% skilled SMG damage. Then we have 21% critical hit chance and for 10% damage to target out of cover. Now for my talent on here, I do love this talent because it, as you saw in the gameplay, it worked absolutely beautifully. The talent in here is called Perpetuation. Now, Perpetuation is basically your headshots grant 75% status effect damage. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, I love this. Love this talent on this gun, and I do love the weapon as well itself. Perpetuation, as I said, it adds for headshots, it grants 75% status effect damage, as you just saw, and duration to the next status effect you apply. The cooldown is only 20 seconds. So This is an awesome weapon with the perpetuation talent on here. I do love it, and it hits pretty hard in my opinion. So for the build itself, for the mask, we are running the it's a high-end golem gear. It has 10% status effects, 1.5 armor regen, and 10% total armor. For a core attribute, we are running armor on here, and then we have for the regular attributes, we have 10% status effects, 10% hazard protection, and I have a mod on here for 10% burn resistance. Now, that does help with the burn as far as the corrosion. It works pretty good as well too, I will say, because of the hazard protection. So for our chest piece, we are running another Golden Gear high-end chest piece. It has 10% status effects, 1.5 armor regen, and 10% total armor in here. For our core attribute, we have total armor. Now, for the regular attributes, we have 10% hazard protection, 10% status effects, and 10% burn resistance. Now, for the talent on this chest piece, I am running Unbreakable because it makes you, it makes you pretty OP against these cleaners, I must say. For the new DLC for Battle of Brooklyn, I've been running this. I really love it. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. But as I said, for the talent, we have Unbreakable, and it's when your armor is depleted, repair 95% of your armor, and the cooldown is 60 seconds. Now, I do love running the Golem Gear with the status effects and the hazard protection for the Battle of Brooklyn. It's been working out pretty awesome. For the holster, I am running, of course, my favorite exotic of all time, Imperial Dynasty holster. We have a skill tier for our core attribute, and for our regular attributes, we have 10% status effects and 10% hazard protection. Now, I love this because along with the build, this basically for the talent on here is called Dragon's Glare. And I absolutely love Dragon's Glare because it's while in combat, it applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters. So, with the skills that I'm running on here, we're burning people, the NPCs were bleeding them, and then it actually adds another burn as well because I love to set stuff on fire. So for Dragon's Glare, as I said, it's while in combat, applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters. The cooldown is 35 seconds. This is my favorite exotic in the game. As far as gear pieces is concerned, I love Imperial Dynasty. So for our knee pads, I am running a Gilligard, a high-end knee pads. For our core attribute, we have armor on here, and for our attributes, we have hazard protection, 10% hazard protection, 10% status effects. And for our gloves, we are running for our third piece. We are running the high-end Golden Gear gloves. And as I said, it adds for the 3 pieces all together. You get 10% status effects, 1.5 armor regen, 10.0 total armor. It's lovely. I love it. I love these 3 pieces together. So for our core attribute, we have our of course, armor. And then for our regular attributes, we have 10% hazard protection, 10% status effects. Now, with this build, along with the perpetuation talent on our AUG submachine gun, as I said, this adds 75% status effects damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Now, I love running perpetuation with this because we have, for our chest piece, we have our y'all gear. It's a high-end backpack. For our backpack, we have a y'all gear, and it adds 10% hazard protection. Now, for our core attribute, of course, we are running armor on here for more survivability. And for our regular attributes, we have 10% hazard protection, 10% status effects. And then we have another mod on here for 10% burn resistance. So this whole entire build gives you a lot of survivability, especially in Battle for Brooklyn, for the corrosion that the new cleaners are throwing on you when they burn you. So this build works awesomely for the Battle of Brooklyn. It's you got to try it out. Please tell me what you think. I love it, especially the perpetuation talent on the SMG and the Ouroboros as well, because as I said, it returns the status effects back to the NPCs. So now for the talent on here, for this backpack, for the y'all backpack, we have shock and awe. Now, I love shock and awe. It's one of my favorite talents because I'm a fan of status effects, of course. You can ask anybody that I run with in the Division 2. Now, shock and awe for this talent is applying a status effect to an enemy increases total skill damage and repair by 20% for 20 seconds. Now, for the shock and awe, for our holster, we're burning the NPCs, of course. And then with the perpetuation, we're getting 75% status effects added on that. And, when you're applying that, it gives you the status effects for shock and awe. It's for the skill damage, just 20%. And I love it because, you're going to be burning, you're going to be bleeding. So, yeah, shock and awe is awesome. Of course, for your chest piece, as I said, unbreakable, but you can also put a different talent on there. It's up to you. I run it so for more survivability. As I said, this is an awesome build, and it gives you a lot of survivability because of the hazard protection, especially for the new DLC for Battle of Brooklyn. Now, for the skill that I'm running, also because, like I said, I love to set shit on fire. So I'm running for my first skill. I'm running the sticky bomb, the burn sticky bomb, and we're gonna be burning these NPCs. As I said, with the holster, with the perpetuation, it just adds even more damage to the burn. And then you have your holster for burn as well, along with your bleeder hive. So yeah, and the shock and awe is just awesome, totally awesome. So we are at a skill tier 2. Now, if you want, of course, you can run a couple more skill tiers. Of course, that's going to bump your armor down. And I like to have a lot of survivability. I like to, just run and gun. So, I like a lot of armor, survivability, but I still love my status effect builds. So we have 20% burn damage, 40% burn duration, and 30% skill haste on our burn, our burn sticky bomb. So now, of course, I love my bleeder hive, my favorite skill in the game. It's the stinger hive. And basically, we are at a skill tier 2 as well. It gives us, I have 2 stinger charges, which used to be different. Yeah. Used to be more stinger charges, but let me check my mods on there. But so far we have 40% damage, 10% range, 10% drone speed, and 140% health. And it is at a level expertise 27% damage. So on here we have extra payout mod on here, which is 4.8 damage, and we have +4 stinger charges. But for Battle of Brooklyn, it's only letting me have 2. Stingy, but a +2. So anyhow, and then for the duration of their mod, we have a 10% duration mod on here. So yeah, this build is pretty awesome. Has a lot of survivability. It's a status effects hybrid hazard protection build. So I hope you like this build. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about it, and if you've put it together, and yeah, tell me how you like it, and the best thing that you like about this build and what works for you. I'm curious to know, but I do love this build. Like I said, it's a new hazard protection status effect hybrid build, and I call this my bleeding barbecue build. I do have a video and my playlist as well. Couple, I think about a year or so back, maybe. But yeah, it's my bleeding barbecue build, and I love it. And I've been running it for a long time. And who knew? Who knew that this DLC was coming and this build would just be awesome, work out awesomely with it. So yeah, tell me what you think below. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. I do appreciate the support. And you know, welcome to the newcomers, guys, to Division 2. If you're new, if you're veterans, salute. Enjoy the new DLC, Battle for Brooklyn, the Division 2, Year 7, Season Crossroads. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Salute.